What's up, friends? Glad to be with you all for another episode of True Detective. Excited to get into this show again because we've just crossed the halfway point. Hard to believe that we only have 4 episodes left, but I'm excited to see how the story unravels further or what new information they learn in this one, because last episode was a great episode. We had a lot of big things happen because Marty had a pretty rough go because he got mad at Alexandra Daddario, and in turn she went and blabbed about all his secrets to his wife, and she ended up leaving him. So he finally got to learn what happened between him and Maggie, because I'd seen early on that he didn't have a wedding ring in the interview scene, so I knew something had happened between then and now to where that he wasn't with her anymore. So definitely interesting to see their relationship at such a bad place compared to where I thought they were at the beginning. So a lot changed between them in just 4 episodes. So I don't know how much she's going to be in the future ones. She obviously talked with Rust briefly in that episode as well, and so maybe she'll keep popping up. Maybe Marty at some point will get another shot, but I doubt it, because obviously it would have to be in the future since he still wasn't with her then. And we also got to see Rust just be an absolute boss in the last episode. For one, he went undercover and did a great job at kind of re-infiltrating the area that I assume that he'd been in a little bit in the past, but that led him to an operation that went south pretty quick, and he had to kind of think on the fly, blow his cover, and barely made it out of there alive with a guy who can hopefully give them a little bit more information, maybe guide them in the right direction to find out some more information. But we'll see. That's kind of right where the episode ended, is right after that sequence. But that was easily my favorite like filmmaking type scene in the series so far, just because of the huge undertaking that would have been to do such a long one take sequence. But it was amazingly filmed, super entertaining to watch, very intense, and so I'm excited to see going forward if they try anything ambitious again like that. But obviously besides that, the filmmaking has already been fantastic throughout the series, especially the lighting. I've mentioned it, I think every episode, how much I love the lighting of this show, so I can't wait to get into another one with you all. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into episode 5. Is he hooking him up with an interview or a meeting with this guy?
I can see your soul at the edges of your eyes. It's corrosive, like acid. You got a demon, little man.
Oh, I like that line. It's a pretty intimidating phrase right there.
I see you again. I'm putting you down. There's a shadow on you, son.
Yikes, this does not seem like a guy you want to mess with, although I don't know if he realizes what a boss he's talking to. Rust can clearly handle himself in a situation. I don't think he'd have any trouble with him, but that's unfortunate that that didn't pan out for him there.
That's Reggie Ledoux's cook partner, DeWall. Bird Dog and Marty.
Got it.
What's your location?
Oh, so I guess maybe their plan wasn't to have something happen with the guy. They just wanted to set up a meeting so they could tail him.
Look, you want my help? Just show me the rest of the file.
You go first. You take me through it, and I'll let you see what we got.
I mean, I'm still not like 100% sure who those guys are, what their whole motivation is. Obviously, they're just retracing steps in a case, and based off the image that they showed Rust a while ago and a few episodes ago, seems like someone, maybe the same guy, might be out there, but they're certainly not easy to work with. Oh shoot, bro. These look like they resemble some of the things that we've been seeing. Not quite the exact same design as what the killer used, but I mean, it's close enough. Music's got me on edge right now too. Bro, is that the house that crazy dude was walking by? I feel like that might be it, man. I'd almost forgotten about him.
Wires back there, clearing's for the mind. You go back, call it in. I'll wait here. You ain't doing this without me.
This is intense, man. This might be the first legit showdown between them and somebody else. A prime suspect, perhaps?
As soon as we started to back off, man.
Blam! Bullets cut through right near Rust's head.
Their stories are syncing up pretty well right now. But based off the footage we're watching, it looks to me like they're lying big time just to justify their behavior and going on to the property. Oh, that is 100% the same design as the killer. 100% this is their guy right here. That's the dude! Not quite as terrifying without the gas mask, but still has me on edge right now.
State police! Put your hands on your head! Put your hands on your head right now. Intertwine your fingers.
Bro, they got him. Let's go. I mean, even though I'm pretty sure this is the guy, they still gotta prove it.
Why the antlers? Freeze, mother. Put it down. Hands up. State police.
Well, his cover's blown with that guy, but Marty better hop out there real quick. He's on a 2-on-1, regardless if the other guy's got cuffs.
You'll do this again.
Oh, bro, you can't cut away like that. Are they keeping bodies in there?
Put your hands on your head.
Oh, Marty's pissed. What? Are you freaking kidding me? What was that? Holy crap, bro. Things just got so crazy. Oh my, dude. Well, I guess I see now why they're lying about what happened. Surely you can't tell the truth about that. You'd be ruined. I don't even know what to say. That just took me by such surprise. Bro, what did Marty see, dude? It must have been something crazy. Did he like see someone he recognized or what? Oh, they're alive. I mean, even if you don't recognize him, I'm not gonna blame Marty too much for killing this dude, because he's clearly the murderer that they've been looking for, so it's not like he deserved to live, but still.
After we confirmed the 2 deaths,
Rust, you genius. Setting up the crime scene for their story. Covering Marty's back big time. That's real partner stuff. Oh, bro, they're kids. I thought they were like adult women. Dude, okay, then I completely understand where Marty's coming from. Freaking degenerate monsters, dude.
Time is a flat circle. Everything we've ever done, we're gonna do over and over. Man, that little girl, they're gonna be in that room forever.
Man, his acting once again legendary. He's so freaking good in this show. This episode so far is incredible. Just all the layered stuff.
Maggie came around. A lot of talking, counseling, and maybe being in a shootout kind of opened her up to forgiveness.
Wow, I did not expect that so soon. I thought maybe there's a possibility, but thought it was gonna maybe be very later in the season. There's so many major events in this.
I cut the booze 5 weeks now. I'm in a program, Promise Keepers.
You have a long road to climb.
Yes, I do.
So it's been a decent time jump then if he's been in a program for 5 weeks.
Down the line, one of those setups Maggie was so intent on finally hit.
He's conflict-oriented, so when I deny him...
Hey, I like her, man. Haunting of Hill House actress. That's unexpected, too. I never thought I'd see Rust with somebody. Man, I already have mentioned how much I loved last episode, but I feel like this is the episode, for me, where they're really hitting on all cylinders, and they're just nailing literally everything. Part of that's probably the character development and the story development that we've had.
Infidelity is one kind of sin. True failure was inattention.
Are those them but grown up? Oh wow, they're majorly grown up. Shoot, I thought it was going to be the 2 cheerleader girls or whatever, not this girl.
Women don't have to look like you want them to, Dad.
Hey, I'm just trying to understand
Well,
it.
who told you you had to understand?
She's like, all right, let's see what you got. I love the time jump. I wasn't expecting to be in another time zone. Thought it was just going to be the past and the interview time. Oh, she messed up big.
Dad.
Tell it to your mother.
Did he catch her with a boy? Drinking? Drugs? Surely it's something major. He looks mad pissed.
A deputy found her parked in a car with 2 boys.
Oof, gosh. I thought it was just going to be 1. 2 is a bit of a different story.
Boys are 19 and 20. Haven't decided whether to press Statch rape charges.
You can't do that.
I can do anything I goddamn want to those boys.
Yeah, you dang well don't want to mess with Marty when it comes to guys dealing with younger girls. We just saw him shoot somebody for earlier in the episode.
Was this one of those things that I'll never understand, being the captain of the varsity slut team?
Marty.
Oh, jeez.
You.
Yikes, man. Some pretty high tensions. I mean, if she's acting up like that and telling her parents off, the insults definitely probably are not the best method.
See, everything outside our dimension, that's eternity. Now, to us, it's a sphere. But to them, it's a circle.
I feel like I'm literally just watching an Interstellar deleted scene and it's great. I love it. Seems like he wishes he could perceive time that way instead of the spherical way that he just described.
I don't think I ought to be blamed, entirely blamed for things I did when I was under influence or anything.
I don't think you should either.
He just backs people into a corner, just absolutely finesses them.
Oh, blew that away, didn't you? You want forgiveness for that?
I want it.
You want what?
Forgiveness.
You just copped to a double murder.
Oh my gosh, I love Rust. Dude's such a legend. Oh, I love that he just calls him out. Just switches immediately. Man, I'd break under his interrogation too. This man's a skilled wordsmith. He'll just pull the words right out of you.
I know about that woman y'all found out in the woods way back. Y'all never caught the man that did that. He's been out there killing.
You talking out your ass, boy.
There's no way it'd have to be a different guy, because the other guy had the stick designs and the kidnappees, unless there's a whole, like, cult of them.
I'll tell you about the Yellow King.
I recognize that phrase, the Yellow King.
The Yellow King!
Bro, what a scene. I feel like that's the first time we've really seen Rust lose his cool like that. Because unlike Marty, I feel like he's always been in pretty good control of his emotions. But right there, that's the first time he's like lost it a bit. And he is quite scary when he does.
And you are reborn, but into the same life. And that is the terrible and secret fate of all life. You're trapped.
Man, he's got some very interesting ideas. Maybe that's like a metaphor, not just for like entire life cycles. Maybe that can also relate to just the case. They get introduced to it, they go on the case, they solve it, but then the same thing pops up again. So they're just stuck in this loop of the same case.
Guy Francis and Charlie Lang both say the Yellow King. You ever wonder why that task force was so hot to take the case? Like a 95?
Are you telling me you think the task force was in on it?
Bro, this could start getting crazy, man. And I don't know why, but the phrase the Yellow King or the name just terrifies me. Just sounds so ominous.
How the f*** did this happen?
He knew what he was looking at with the double murders. Guess he thought about it and made a choice.
Nope, not a chance, dude. There's no way that this dude drops the name the Yellow King and then is just dead the next day. If there's some sort of giant conspiracy around this, then I would have never seen that coming.
You got audio on this?
No, just the vid. That's it. It's 3 hours and nothing till you see the blood.
Whew, man, sketchy stuff. Those cops maybe hand him something?
I want to see your incoming call logs now.
All right.
What are the 2 officers' names?
Childress and Mahoney.
Give me their files, please.
Dang, dude, this episode is so freaking good. The writing is just at a 10. Everything is just developed so much more. I mean, I knew that since this is episode 5 and there's more episodes, that there would be other stuff going on, but I didn't expect it in the way that's happening. The OG site. I haven't been here since the first episode. A lot more lush than it looked when they were first here. this music, man. This feels like a horror movie right now a little bit. It's gone full suspense thriller mode.
His record, his reports, his stories, they don't add up.
So talk to him about it already. Stop pissing in my ear.
We did.
Interesting. So this is taking place after Russ's interview.
I already know all this.
That's what we have so far.
You hadn't checked old Unsolved.
Maybe you stop dancing with us. Tell us what you've really been up to, how you spend your time.
Do these guys think this guy's a suspect? I mean, I know I mentioned that one episode how I feel like Marty and Rust have potential tendencies that could connect them to a case like that, but that was early on. My opinion on that has definitely changed, especially after seeing the actual killer, or at least one killer.
Your truck and a man fitting your description was spotted in the vicinity of our crime scene 5 times by 5 different people over the last month.
Oh, shoot. This has got to be coincidence, though, right? I feel like if he was actually a killer in this, they wouldn't just outright give evidence like that. That's too easy.
Look, y'all want to arrest me? Go ahead. You want to see something? Get a warrant.
Bro, is he actually leaving the interview? I didn't think that would ever happen. Now I'm worried. I don't want Russ to be behind any killings or bad stuff because I've grown to love him as a character. Yikes. I see that stuff. I'm booking it out of there.
Didn't he get you every bit of evidence? Didn't he push you where he wanted it to go? He brought you Rianne Olivier. She wasn't one of the dudes. She was one of his.
Yo, there's actually so much evidence stacked against him. I don't want to believe it, man. That would line up with like everything I'd been saying about him, but I thought it was a positive thing because I was always mentioning how he was the only one doing work on the case and was driving the case. It would make sense if he knew everything already, but there's no way. I don't want to believe it's him. Holy crap, somebody has been freaking busy in here. Dude's got an entire collection. Rust wouldn't be a bad dude if he's still conducting investigation stuff, because if he made these, that would make no sense why he's acting like it's a discovery. Love this shot, dude. Just dollying back like this. Oh, dude, that episode was top tier, man. I didn't think that the last episode would be passed so quickly, but that's easily my favorite just because I loved all the developments in the story and in the characters. We obviously had the most shocking moment of the season so far for me, with Marty just blasting that dude and then the other guy blowing up on his own trap, and then the introduction of the Yellow King again, just with that one guy mentioning it. We got tons of good Rust monologues. Bro, Rust cannot be the killer. I refuse to believe it, but it's crazy just the detectives laying it all out because it totally makes sense, man. All the evidence is pointing against him, but in a way that would almost make me doubt Rust and believe that Marty would be the one, because certainly Marty wouldn't want any information to be found out. Rust wouldn't direct the case in the direction that would get him caught. So I know at that scene at the end I was talking about how Rust looking at those stick sculptures, designs, whatever they are, how that wouldn't make sense if he was the bad guy, but at the same time he looked like he almost walked in there like he knew what he was doing, and the way that he was looking at them, maybe the reason he put on gloves and everything to look at them, I don't know, maybe he's trying to keep his fingerprints off them and maybe they are his, he made them. But that would just be such a ridiculous bombshell moment if Rust was the killer, or at least a killer. I already know that the guy they killed in that episode was a killer, at least one of them, because one of the kids there was dead, as they said. But that's easily the darkest moment of the season, man. That was some real heavy stuff there early on, and I can definitely see how a case like that can really affect the rest of your surrounding life and affect the way you interact with other people, just because of how mentally you might be messed up from seeing that. But then hopping back to the Rust discovery or development there, And knowing how he's been acting throughout the season, how behind the scenes he's always kind of gone out and does his own investigations, tries to figure out information late at night because he can't sleep and everything like that, with his picture popping up at a crime scene. I don't know if that's the same vein, how he's still kind of going and doing these case investigations on his own without anybody else knowing, because in the past he never really told even Marty that he was going out to all these different places to find stuff. He just always tell him just a little bit after the fact, and so I want to believe that that's the reason for it, but again, there's some pretty unpleasant evidence pointing against him, and certainly his persona, I did mention it in the past, had traits that could resemble a killer, and so I guess we will see. But the way that this episode progressed and kind of ending the case that we'd been dealing with for the first 4 episodes and putting a lot more focus on the future time period, the interview time period, I'm really excited to see how the next episode format is, because I assume that's only going to continue now that we've dealt with a bunch of the past information and gotten a lot of the information I feel like we need to know. Now we can kind of focus more on the present day, and that's a great kind of narrative style and storytelling tactic that I haven't seen too often, where it deals simultaneously with past and present, and it uses the past to kind of build all this backstory and character development and everything. So when it shows you the future stuff, you not just see the characters as they are there, but you know what brought them to that point, why they act the way that they are. And that's such a powerful tool when your audience knows that, because I feel like it gives you a lot more room to work with the writing and the storytelling, and it just can create a lot more powerful moments. I feel like one interesting thing that might shed light on maybe who Rust really is if we see more of him and his girlfriend there that we saw glimpses of in this episode, because Marty said how they ended things, or they ended up just like all men and women do, but it was kind of vague and it didn't really show them breaking up or anything. So maybe if we see how their relationship ended, what happened to them or her specifically, that might give us a look into the possibility of Rust's character being more menacing or vile than I originally thought. But I also really loved in this episode how there were a lot of scenes, especially after and relating to the gunfight and the shooting there early on, how there were so many layered dialogue instances where half the room knew one truth, the other half knew the real truth, and how it just created this unspoken tension where if you just see that scene without context, you just like with them walking in, everybody congratulating them on a job well done, see that out of context, you just assume, hey, these guys just accomplished a case. But because of what you'd seen, you know that there's something a little bit more sinister to it, and there's all these lies underneath the congratulations. And so loved how they interworked scenes like that in this episode. But because of how intense the story was, I just want to go ahead and get straight into the next episode, so I will go ahead and finish this one up. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this great episode with me. Look forward to seeing you all in the next episode, and so until then, peace.